Alright guys, how's it going? This is Noise Era, and this is actually not an episode of Factions of Freedom, or part of my series, Babylon America. This is a sub-thing that I'm trying to do where pretty much just explain how the dots are being connected. I mean, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of half of the things that are going on in the news. Like every single day, things are just getting increasingly more intense. And like right here, we have the Pope calling for a new world order, and Obama's secret scientists are saying that they need mass sterilization happening and forced abortions. There's all kinds of crap going on, and it's not necessarily calming down. I definitely feel like I just kind of jumped into this. To bring it back, what I'm going to do, and they're in no particular order, is sort of pull certain headlines from my Instagram, my Facebook, and my Twitter, and just discuss them, just talk about them. Maybe even read some of them on air. But right now, what I generally want to do is just, I guess, connect the dots, explain things a little better, so we have a better understanding of like what's happening, where this is coming from, what the end goal of it all is, and what's going to happen, and what we need to look out for. Prime example is what happened in Virginia with the shooting. That happened like probably 2 days before Obama went to Mexico for a UN conference to discuss the gun ban treaty, and wham blam, what happened out of that? Secretary of State John Kerry signs the United Nations gun ban treaty against the wishes of the U.S. Senate. Yeah. They're coming for our gun. And I know it sounds kind of crazy. I know people don't want to hear that, but that's exactly what's going to happen. Matter of fact, that is what's happening out here in Buffalo. The police department is starting gun confiscation of the deceased. If that does not sound morbid, wrong, or, I don't know, I would guess wicked in any sense, there's no real way to describe it other than it's wrong. These are dead people's guns that we're going after, and if they will do this to people that are already dead, imagine what will happen to the people who are living. You see what I'm saying? They're just going to confiscate the guns of the dead people. What happens to the people that are still alive, that don't necessarily want to give up their guns? Dead people don't really have a say. You see what I'm saying? There's all kinds of different things going on, and we're seeing the birth pains of it now. The only thing I can really tell you guys to do is don't cause a scene. Don't be that person that they come after. I know everybody wants to go out and the guns ablaze, like, bullets all over the place, like this is some kind of action movie with Vin Diesel or Sylvester Stallone, but that's not the case. We will not win this. We will not win that kind of fight. Okay, we have to think smart, and if anything, think of it as a preemptive trap. Say we'll let them play their card into whatever we have dealt afterwards. What's going to happen are people are going to peacefully resist for a while, and then too many people are going to be starting to take hits. There's going to be private operations where covert operations where people are ambushed essentially for their guns. Midnight raids, the cops don't even have to have a warrant anymore to search your house, So if they're coming to come get your guns, what do you think they're going to do for that? Understanding that it's a hostile situation and the things they're going to have to do to get through there, or to complete the operation, There's all kinds of things. Like, check this out. Blending in Jade Helm style. Fake rental trucks reveal military's hidden spy rooms. So not only do we have cops that could potentially come for our guns, and eventually call in SWAT, and eventually do all kinds of other things. I'll get to this article here in a moment, where we talk about the Texas sheriff saying that, we need to obey the police because their authority comes from God. I'll come back to that. But right now, this right here just shows you that quote-unquote unconventional warfare that Jade Helm is conducting. They said they were supposed to blend in and quote-unquote master the human domain. And if you've read any of my other work, in which I'll turn into a few into videos and audio casts so you guys can understand it, there's a few different things that Jade Helm is responsible for. One of which is being just that, a part of the covert military that can do these types of things out here in the open. Another being that it is a artificial intelligence spy program. The same way there is now Windows 10. There's a lot of connections there that people don't necessarily put together. Everybody's thinking it's just the military coming in trying to enforce martial law, and that's not the case. I'd say if anything, we're already here. I mean, whatever area you're in, do you guys hear more helicopters? Do you see more planes? Do you see more cops? Do you see undercover vehicles? Do you see things that don't kind of look right? You can feel that something's wrong. Well, that's part of the unconventional warfare. It's a tidbit of a psyop as well. There's a lot of different things in play right now. You know, one of the reasons why I want to talk about Jade Helm momentarily is because that's still going on, and this is supposed to end sometime this month. And so my thoughts on that: everybody's put their troops all over the place. They're stationed specifically for specific events. I mean, even in Boston, there are all kinds of different things happening. There are all kinds of different agendas playing out slowly. Check this out. Solicitation for role players confirms the Department of Defense training in Boston on the heels of Jade Helm 15. We were told that it was going to be a hot summer, that all kinds of different things were going to be happening, that we needed to watch out for false flags, and that people were coming to come and get our guns. Just the other day, I had watched a video about a trucker in my actual local area that said he had met some other British, well, I'm not British, he had met British troops at a bar, randomly, that said they were here for Jade Helm 15. And you know how it is. People start drinking, people start getting loose lips, they start having a few more shots in them, and then, you know, the truth comes out. And basically the gist of what the guy got from it, you know, and this is a trucker guy, he was just stopping through and just went to a random bar, you know, it just happened that way, is September is going to be one of the hot months. And I know everybody's hyping it up like, oh, you know, it's going to be the end of the world, you know, a comet's coming, or it's the return of Jesus Christ, or, you know, this, that, and the third. I understand all these other things, and those are great, not really great things, those are things to keep in consideration, but we still need to see. You know, there was all kinds of hype before September 11th, and this might be exactly what is happening now, you know, because we do have the Pope coming over around on the 23rd, or on the 23rd, I think, yeah, 9/23, or sometime beforehand, where he is to host a session of Congress, and that's never been done before. You know, that has never happened. Never. And I'll tell you what's going to happen. And I just kind of had a random theory, random thought with this thing that's happening over there in Syria with the refugees, etc., etc. I feel like the Pope, even potentially with his humanitarian facade, he could come over and say, you guys need to take care of these immigrants, these turkeys, these people. You need to have an open heart, America. And then what's going to happen is, because the Pope, who comes from a spiritual background, a humanitarian background, he'll be the voice of somewhat spiritual reason for us over here. Because if you can't tell, Obama is not necessarily Christian. And what I really think is happening is the joining of state and religion when they're supposed to be kept separate. This is the declaration, if you ask me, of the New World Order. Just with them doing this, just having a joint session of Congress, you know. The Pope is the Papa. The Pope is the the religious icon for thousands of Catholics. He has his own. This man is rich beyond wealth, beyond words, and he's coming over here to probably tell us that we need to clean up our act, and that's never been done before. What we're seeing right now is the collapse of our sovereignty, and like I said before, the birth of a new world order, and it's not a good thing. I mean, like I said earlier in this video, look at Obama's science czar says that we need forced abortions and mass sterilization overseen by a planetary regime. What? Pretty much saying we just need to kill off a whole bunch of people. There's a massive depopulation agenda in play as well. There's all kinds of different things going on. Guys, my God, and we need to pay attention. I mean, just the other day, that Kim Davis lady, she was a clerk in Kentucky, and she's saying, you know what, I don't want to marry these two homosexuals, you know? This isn't a matter of doing my job, it's a matter of God. It's a spiritual issue, and we are in a fierce spiritual war here, and it's now manifesting physically. There's all kinds of things going on. We are literally up against death, and if you can't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. I really don't. You see what I'm saying? There are all kinds of things going on. Welcome to Sodom and Gomorrah, you know, to where if you don't appreciate someone, if you don't understand, or if you don't care about how somebody lives their sexual life, if they want to be gay, then you're a racist, or you're messed up, or you're some kind of homophobe, or you're some kind of, you know, anti-Semite, you're some kind of hater. That's not the case. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even care. Just get it out of my face the minute they start flashing these things in our face. It becomes the point, or it becomes the reason why we don't take a necessary stance. But because they do put these things in our face so repetitively, you know, it forces us to take a stance. One of which they already have like three steps in advance of. You know, if they say we don't like, or if we say we don't like, you know, same-sex marriage, that makes us, you know, not only a homophobe, it makes us racist, it makes us all kinds of different labels that they're putting on us. It's this political correct bullcrap, that Babylon bullshit that like nobody really wants to deal with, like I swear. And it's just, this is where we're going. This is the declaration of the New World Order, where we have all kinds of, you know, all kinds of dividers, all kinds of checkpoints, all kinds of things that don't necessarily define us, but essentially take away our inherent liberties, our inherent rights, our things that we were born with. Like we're boxed into this societal cluster F of nonsense, and it doesn't make any sense to the people right here, or commonplace people. And you know, being a truther actually meant back in the day exposing all these lies and all these things that are going on. But they're just putting it in our face now. They don't really care. There's really no holds bar on what they're about to do. And like I said before at the start of this video, whenever they do try to come take your guns, don't be the person that stands out. Don't give them a reason. The minute you give them a reason is the minute they're going to come for you. What we need to do is start thinking smart. We know their plans, we know what they're going to do, and that's whenever we need to make the conscious decision to come up with a proper buffer, a proper response. That's what this whole little project, movement, whatever you want to call this thing is to create a space for us to have a section of freedom, a section of individuality, of independence, for us to believe in that. Because right now, if we keep playing into their hands, we're gonna keep being parts of their trap, like this huge race war they're trying to start, this huge racial civil war. I got all kinds of other things I'd like to talk about, but I'm going to keep these videos short, you know, 15 minutes about, and just keep them to the point. Like I said, this is Noise Era, or Freedom Faction. You guys have been tuning in, and hopefully we have more of these coming out. Share this if you guys want. Feel free to look at some more of my videos over there on my page. We have a lot more content and a lot more things coming out to you guys. God bless.